ECOSOFT is a social enterprise dedicated to addressing the issue of water shortage. We are in Singapore and have a growing presence in India. So we have a Jabalpur set up that's going to office here, projects and working around central India. This is the kind of setting with the kind of that we're hoping to address. That is a home, it's a building, nice fitting, expensive gadgets, expensive cars, but without the necessity in life. The news is that this exists in a lot of places, in rich areas, even in Delhi, in Gurgaon, in Noida, in a lot of major cities, and in a lot of as well. More bad news. All the water that comes from that into this home is not going to the human body, because by now, often used to bottle water. All that water is going to cleaning, washing, flushing toilet. If it doesn't go to the body, the water must. What happens now is that it's going out residential sewage. The bad news is that in 80% is left untreated. Sent out to the rivers where people drink water. So, for example, the Yamuna River basically become the discharge point. So, the good can solve this problem with the use of technology. And our mission to these people is that we can make the home self-sustainable by reducing water wastages, recover and reuse water in the home up to 80% for non-potable purpose, main purpose in the home. That needs to be discharged. There is technology that is now available to treat and discharge the water in an environmentally friendly way, so that it does not contribute to drinking water sources. Now, we try to admit we are aiming for financial stability. Harper said, profitable, because here people who have the willingness to solutions to solve those problems. What is important? How we make the money. Here, what it means that we're going to make in a very ethical, proper. We're going to use to regenerate. We are a social enterprise, so maximize is what we are aiming. There's a interest rate, which means that 65% or more of our profits have got to go into social or non-profit causes. And where are we hoping to use our surplus? These are high scenes from Silwa village, far away. Now they have to rely on a hand pump or walk long distances to carry water. Issues on sanitation, there are no toilets, there are no bathing rooms. Open defecation is a predominant way of cleaning up oneself. And livelihood is a major concern. So water, sanitation, livelihood, a lot of link. Without water, sanitation is not possible. Without livelihood, water, sanitation, infrastructure cannot be maintained over time. And it's more importantly, it's also a human dignity issue, where women, you'll see over here, having to bathe out in the open, defecate. And the real bad news, my friends, is that India leads the world in this. 600 million people practicing open defecation. So it's a huge potential market if you really look at it from the pure business perspective for us to address over the next 50 years. Now, because of the magnitude and the urgency of the problem, this, I would say today, there is no one person, no one organization, no one group of organization that can address this problem. What we need is a partnership approach. And here, we're humbly suggesting what we call a C-tree approach. Number one, first C, the community. The conventional wisdom is that people who are poor, underprivileged, they are not willing to pay. But that's not true. We have seen, and in our experience in the Silwa village, that the villagers are willing to contribute if they see that there is value in that form of investments. In that project that we're doing, each of the villagers commit in a written agreement that they will pay 1,000 rupees towards a corpus fund that will be used for maintenance of the infrastructure. On top of that, they contribute labor. They build the toilets, under our supervision. So it's both monetary contribution and labor contribution. On top of that, the villagers come together and organize themselves in a village council, 5 men, 5 women, that takes a collective decision on the investments. Second, what we have found to be very valuable is the campus. Campus like this, engaging young minds, young talents, leaders of the future. The campus provides a good place for them to learn, to experiment, and take the campus as a base, and working with them, to take their solution from within the campus to outside the campus in the communities around them. And the third C is corporates. I came from the corporate sector, spent 17 years in management consulting and multinational corporations. I think, corporates are the most sophisticated institutions that we have today. Think about it today. If we need to address an oil spill halfway around the world, we need corporates. We need to build infrastructure, we need corporates. We need to create jobs, we need corporates. Now, if corporates are not engaged, we're losing a big part of the available resources. And the good thing is that today, corporates are willing to do that, through CSR, to marketing, to volunteerism, to technical expertise, because they're slowly realizing that the old model of pure brute force capitalism is not going to work for them. So they're experimenting. They're willing to try out new things. So the great example of this is one of the organizations that we have had the privilege of being associated with, GK Enchanted Farm, or Gawat Kalinga in the Philippines. So they have developed this, what they call the first farm village university in the world. So first of all, their mission in life is very simple. 3 things, okay? Home for the homeless, land for the landless, food for the poor. So first thing, what do we do to the poor? Bring them onto a purpose-built campus. The poor people build themselves. We create jobs for them in agriculture, on wasted land, social enterprise, through the processing of agricultural products, and so on. Second, the campus. Bring students to see it. Bring students to learn on campus. What is it like? So today, 200,000 student visitors a year see the village, from elementary school all the way to MBA students. And the third thing, corporates. It's amazing how they have been able to crowd in the corporates. Hyundai has set up this Hyundai Green Center. Shell is there. Coca-Cola is there. Schneider is there. Corporate sponsorship is there. So what they're saying is that, yes, it is CSR. Yes, they believe in the cause. But the corporates are also realizing that it is also in their self-interest to engage with the communities. The founder told us, there is money in CSR, no doubt about it. But there's even more money in marketing budget. And the corporates are willing to spend that because there are 200 students going there, and that these are 200,000 potential customers of the future. It's a great model that has worked, and that has enabled them to bring the campus to the corporates, to the communities, and solving the problem of the underprivileged. But there's one thing they do not have. They do not have water, which is the next step. What we are working on with them, which is create the world's first aqua center for water edutainment. So this aqua center will serve a few purposes. For the community, it will be a source of water, as a water reservoir for the people living around it. They can use it for agriculture, for food processing, and so on. It will be a place for students to go there to learn about the water issues, how water works. And it's also, we're going to create a nice place where corporates are, how water works. And it's also, we're going to create a nice place where corporates are going to use it as a corporate retreat area. They got to spend the money somewhere, rather than spend it on some corporate, they'll spend the money here, and leave the money for the benefit of the communities who are living on campus. So that's one example of community, campus, corporate working together. The second example, which is an honor for us to be able to work with XIDAS. Here we have, talked about ways in which we can engage the students and engage them to work with communities around the area. So here we started off with a pilot in vocational training in Tilari village. There you see Father Pankaj, helping to execute a community-led transformation programs where we empower villagers to be self-sustainable in their livelihoods, and then using that as an entry point for water, sanitation, and other kind of projects. We had a kickoff, session with that, organized by the students, beautiful, well-organized, totally professional. I couldn't have done any better, I would admit. The second, the campus. We hope to work with XIDAS to turn this into an eco-friendly campus. This is a fantastic campus, world-class campus, beautiful lawns. But remember, there is no pipe water on campus. All the water comes from the river underground. And if we just continue to take water from the river underground, at some point the rivers will dry. So we're putting a set of solutions with support from Father Ranjit and the team for wastewater treatment, for rainwater harvesting, so we can give back water gradually to Mother Nature. We take care of Mother Nature will take care of us in the future. Corporates, we've committed that we'll help with us. We will work together to bring guest lectures and to develop a hub for social innovation. I can't think of a better place in the world to do this than XIDAS. Here we have huge population of underprivileged around here. We have a great university, with management, with rural management studies. We have a great value system that's built in over here. It's great for us to do that. So, my humble suggestion over here is, let's look at the powerful synergy of the C3. Number one, communities. Communities themselves have got to take the leadership in leading the transformation, in taking advantage of the opportunities that now technology has provided. Today, communities can implement solutions, they can manage those solutions without waiting for public utilities, without waiting for municipal corporations, without waiting for government. Technologies have allowed us the opportunity to do that. Second, campus. Let's engage the young people, make the academic curriculum relevant. In a place like India where water shortage is a huge problem, I think water has not gotten into the mainstream curriculum. There's a lot we can do about that. And the third, corporate. Moving from CSR to what we call CSI, corporate social investments. Corporates are good at that. They understand the value of investments. They understand how to value from investment they make. But I will say, it's beyond short-term financial returns. Let's look longer term. Let's look at the longer-term financial returns. Let's look at the non-monetary returns, because it's in our interest. Without water, a lot of supply chains are going to break down. Without water, a lot of communities are not going to prosper. Without them prospering, corporates are not going to have customers of the future. I thank you.
Thank you. That was well within the limits. We have a couple of minutes for questions. For those who want to ask one. No questions or? Ah. Yes, the question is whether these examples, or the example of XIDAS, is it already happening on the campus? Yeah. So the reality test from an odd observer.
Now the village, that was... It is happening as we speak. The community-led transformation in Tilari village that has kicked off this week with Father Pankaj. We're putting in wastewater treatment solutions campus. The first one is coming up at the Jesuit residence. It's well hidden, okay, from all of you, because Father has nicely constructed a nice home for the wastewater treatment system. We have just started. We had an MOU with XIDAS 2 months ago. We're starting to work on it. Hopefully, the next time you come back here next year, a lot more progress will have happened. That's our commitment.
Yes, thank you.